Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Game 5 of the 1978 World Series as I try to get this stand set up right so we can see everything without being too weird here. I think that covers it right there. That should work just fine. All right, we are in New York for Game 5. Dodgers lead it 3-1. Obviously, must win situation for the Yankees. And they will send right-hander Jim Beattie to the mound against Bert Happy Hooton for the Dodgers. It is a night game at Yankee Stadium. Base temperature in October at night 44 degrees. You need at least 55 degrees in order to, or at least 54 degrees in order not to have an effect on the deep drives. So these three dice need to total 10 or higher, or else we're going to have a -1 on the deep drives. And they only total 8, so we're going to have trouble. It's 52 degrees, so we're going to take away 1 because of the cold weather here at Yankee Stadium at night in New York. The deep drives are going to be a -1. -1 for deep drives here at Yankee Stadium. We'll see if that comes into play. Don't know. Hello, Phoenix, and hello, Brian B. All right, there you see the starting lineup for both teams. Fairly standard, I would say, except Spencer's back at first base in place of Chambliss. Not sure the reasoning there, but that's just the way Bob Lemon and the Yankees decided to play it. Hello, Ben. Good to see you. So, as they say, win or go home in this one for the Yankees. If the Yankees win, Game 6 will be Tuesday night in Los Angeles as a travel day tomorrow. Tuesday night in Los Angeles at roughly this time, right around 9 o'clock Eastern. All right, so Davey Lopes will lead things off against Jim Beattie. Get a 256. Lopes is a righty. 256 is going to be a 1-3 putout. Would have been a single against a lefty hitter, but instead Lopes grounds it back to Beattie for out number 1. That'll bring up Bill Russell. 619. 619 is going to be a pop-up to second base here at Yankee Stadium. Pop up to second base. 2 down. And that'll send up Reggie Smith, right fielder. He was the player of the game in Game 4. As the Dodgers laid waste to the Yankees in Game 4. 243, switch hitter, batting left, so 243 in the switch category. 243 is a pop-up or foul out to third, however you want to refer to it. Either way you go, it's the end of the innings. 1-2-3 inning for Jim Beattie. And he pitched a complete game victory in real world in this game. So Jim Beattie, not your typical well-known Yankee pitcher like Ron Guidry, Catfish Hunter, or Ed Figueroa. It is Jim Beattie. All right, here's Bert Hooton. Hooton will lead off against Mickey Rivers. And that's the first defensive check of the game, but it's a blue 3, so Bert Hooton should have no problem. He does not. It's just a simple ground ball back to Hooton, and Rivers is out of there. So Hooton, nothing going on there. Here's Roy White, 193, and that's going to be a bloop single for Roy White. So White is aboard, and that'll bring up Thurman Munson, the captain. That's a 273, and that's going to be a deep drive to left field on the 273. But remember, it is a -1 due to the cold weather. So power rate of Munson is only a 2. We take 1 away from that, makes it a 1. So we add 1 to this 2 D10s and see what we get. We get a 12. That's total 13. That will be just a deep fly to left field. And that will be out number 2. For Hot Dog Reggie Jackson. 489, and that's going to be a deep fly to center field. Hauled in by Rick Monday, and the inning's over. So 1 complete at Yankee Stadium, and we got no score. And just as a heads up, I will be playing. I've already created the cards, I should say. And I will be playing the World Series from this year in History Maker Baseball. So depending on who gets in, I've got the cards already to go, no matter if it's Toronto, Seattle, Dodgers, or Milwaukee. All right, here is Steve Garvey. That's a 507, so we got a rare play here in the second inning. Just that quickly, a rare play comes up. How about that? So we go to the rare play page with the bases empty, which is page number 30 is where that's going to start with the bases empty. Rare play for Steve Garvey. We get a 532, so that's going to be on the next page, page 31, till we get to 532. 532, right here, interference. Weak grounder to pitcher, throws to first, hits batter in the back as they're running inside the baseline. Batter is out, interference, runner returns to bases. So that's one I haven't seen before in any game. That's definitely a rare play. And it actually happens more than you think in regular baseball with a batter. They've got that, I mean, there's the foul line there, but then there's a little box. It's a running box that they're supposed to be inside that running box. But if you watch a lot of the times, the batters will actually be on the grass. If the ball hits them, it's supposed to be an interference and an out. Not sure exactly how it is recorded on a score sheet, though. I don't know if it's just going to go as a 1-3 put out. I'm assuming that's the way it would be ruled. That's how I'm going to rule it anyway. So we're just going to call it. It's an out, so it doesn't matter. Nobody's on base, so don't worry about runners or anything like that. I don't know if it's considered one unassisted because the pitcher had the ball in the hand, or whether it's 1-3 because the throw was going to first base. I don't know how it's officially done. All right, thank you, Ben. 1-3. Thank you. Okay. All right. So here's the Penguin, Ron Say. That's a 337 non-split, and it's a deep fly to left field, to right field rather. 338 would have been an infield single, but instead, deep fly to right field. And hauling it in is Lou Piniella. 2 down for Dusty Baker. Hello, Mr. RJL. Baker 447, and that's against a righty Beatty. 447 is a 5-3 ground out. So Jim Beatty, 6 up and 6 down. In a must-win game for the Yankees, down 3-1. And again, if there's a game 6, it will be Tuesday night after a Monday night of travel, or Monday day of travel. All right, here is Lou Piniella, Sweet Lou. That is a 200. This could be a redirect to a 400, which is going to be, against a right-hander, a ground ball, 1-3. Usually 400s are where they have the walk, so apparently Lou Piniella did not walk very often, which is probably the reason why his OP, his on-base percentage, and his batting average, not that much different. All right, here's Greg Nettles. That's a 133, and that's going to be a fly to right field, 2 down. Thank you for that clarification, Ben. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Here's Jim Spencer, 392. 392 is a ground ball to second base, and that's going to take care of the Yankees in the second. So Hooten and Beatty are getting the job done early after 2 complete, no score. And Rick Monday the bat. That's a 538. That's trouble because you get that blue 8 in there, and I don't think Jim Spencer can handle that. 538 is going to be a single to right field. Oops, down this way. Single to right field for Monday is Jim Spencer unable to deal with that blue 8 that just crashed onto the table. So Rick Monday's aboard for Lee Lacy. That's a 294, and that's going to be a deep drive to left field. Lacy's got a power of 8, but again, it's cold weather, so -1 on the deep drives will make that a 7. So we're going to add 7 to the 2 D10s and see what we get. If he gets an 11 or higher, it's still a home run. and he gets a 14. We're going to add the 7 to it for a 21. Oh, that's the one spot he doesn't get the home run. How about that? What a bad break that was for Lee Lacy. That's a 14. He's an 8 for a 22, but the -1 for the cold weather is a 21. And so the cold weather just cost Lee Lacy a home run. How do you like that? Just that one difference did it. Hello, Chuck. Here is Yeager, 149, and that's going to be a single for Yeager. Single to center. Mundy will not challenge. He doesn't run all that well. His speed is only a 3, so they're not going to challenge. They're just going to have him stop at second base. First and second, 1 out. Back to the top of the order for Davey Lopes. That's a 544. We're looking at the second baseman, Doyle. 544, and that's going to be a 4-3 ground out. So unable to turn a double play, but he will get the ground out at first for out number 2. Mundy takes third. Yeager takes second. Second and third, 2 outs. Clutch situation for Bill Russell. That's a 109. It's a redirect to a 309, which is a fly to center field, and that's going to end the inning. So Beede pitches around a couple of hits. Go to the bottom of the third. No score. And Brian Doyle will lead things off. I just printed him on regular standard notebook paper because I'm not going to use him except for this World Series. So didn't see any reason to burn in a whole page of card stock just for one card. Here's Doyle, 329, and that's going to be a 4-3 ground out. 1 away, and that brings up Bucky Dent. 648, home team's batting makes it 658. 658 is going to be a 6-3 ground out. That is out number 2. And now we got Mickey Rivers, Mick the Quick. 154, and that's going to be a fly to left. So 3 inning for Bert Hooton. At the end of 3, we're still no score from Yankee Stadium. Game 5. Go win or go home for the Yankees. Here's Reggie Smith, Garvey, and Say. And we get another defensive check, and it's a blue 8. That's bad news for Thurman Munson. Probably going to be if it's a pass ball, at least nobody's on base, so it'll just be nothing happening, but it could be a walk as well. 528, now that shows a pass ball. So with nobody on base, it just gets by him and no big sweat, and we redo. 697. 697 is a base on balls. So Reggie Smith will draw the leadoff walk. Leadoff walk. That brings up Garvey. Oh, the one die didn't go through, so we're going to redo this. 318, and that's a strikeout of Garvey. For Beede, that is his first strikeout. So first walk and first strikeout have come in the 4th inning. Here's the Penguin, Ron Say. 345 for Say, and that's going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice. So they'll get the lead dog in Smith, and taking over at first base is Ron Say. 2 down for Dusty Baker. 273, and that's going to be a redirect to a 563. That's Bucky Dent. He should have no problem with that 3 to deal with there. So a 563 redirect is going to be a 6-3 ground out, and that will end the inning. So nothing doing for the Dodger Blue. We go to the bottom of the 4th, no score. So who's going to flinch first? Apparently. Now this next inning for Jim Beede will be his fatigue inning, so we've got to keep an eye on that for sure. Philip, Tabby is just fine. She's downstairs resting, which she has done a lot today. It's been a cool, rainy day here, which is, I'd be taking a nap too if I didn't have anything else going on. So I'd be right there with Tabby taking a nap. Here's Roy White, 174, and that's going to be a leadoff base on balls. First one issued by Hooten. Roy White's aboard. I'll bring up the captain, Thurman Munson. 568. That's trouble for Bill Russell, that blue 8. Bill Russell's going to have issues. 568 is going to be an error on Russell. A one base error on Bill Russell. First and second, nobody out. Yankees have something cooking for Mr. Hot Dog, Reggie Jackson. Normally, this would be a time you want to bunt and get the runners in scoring position and, try to get that first run across the board. But good and well, Reggie is not going to bunt. Well, he will hit away, though. 673 becomes 683. 683 is a base hit, single plus plus. That'll score the run. Roy White will come across the score. Munson will take third. RBI single for Reggie Jackson. Still nobody out. Yankees lead 1-0. Runners on the corners. Got Hooten on the ropes. And the infield, well, the Dodgers feel like they're going to score some runs, so they're playing back for the double play. 643 comes 653. 653. It's a good thing they were playing back. If that was the end, it would be a base hit. But it's going to be a 5-4 fielder's choice. But in purple like that, if you play the infield in, that turns into a single. They were playing back, so it's going to be a 5-4 fielder's choice. It's an RBI ground out for Piniella as Munson will score an unearned run. And it's now 2-0 Yankees with one out and Piniella now at first base. But had they been playing in, that would have been a base hit. Here's Nettles, 259. And that's going to be a redirect to a 569. Boy, Bill Russell just can't catch a break. That's going to be another error on Bill Russell. The second one this inning. Unbelievable. 569 is another error. So the redirects on Bert Hooten's card are not doing Bill Russell any favors at all. Second error of the inning on Russell. First and second, one out. Spencer, that's a 596. Right fielder Reggie Smith with a blue 6. He might have a chance. Reggie Smith, blue 6. No, he does not. 596. It's going to be a double with the run on first. Has an opportunity to challenge, but I think Nettles, his arm's a 5. Nettles' speed is only a 2, so we're not going to challenge. But it will be an RBI double to make it 3-0 Yankees. Piniella will score. Spencer with the big double. Nettles going to third, and now the infield will come in as they pretty much have no choice. Down 3-0. And Brian Doyle, your batter. Hello, Clay. Good to see you. Hello, Dr. D. I got your email, and tomorrow I have been home. I just got home not that long ago, so probably tomorrow morning I'll get you a shot of the San Francisco player you were asking about. All right, here's Doyle. 167, and that's going to be a walk that's going to load the bases. Now a double play would get them out of the inning without further damage. They will play back for that double play. It's 468. 468 is going to be it, but it's going to be a 5-4 fielder's choice, so they don't turn the double play and the run scores. But again, if you play in, you hit that ballpark card in the purple shaded area. Sometimes it pays to play in, sometimes it doesn't. That time it would have paid to play in, but I didn't do it. So previous time, if I had played in, it would have been a base hit. So, but it's 4-run inning so far for the Yankees. 2 outs now. Runners on the corners as Nettles will score. 2 unearned runs at least have come across the board because of 2 Bill Russell errors. Ninth man to bat in the inning, Mickey Rivers. 450 for Mickey. 450 against a righty is a single to center field. Do they challenge the arm of Rick Monday? The lead, well, actually Dent is at first base, so I don't think we're going to challenge that. I don't think Dent runs all that well. Only runs at a 3, so they'll hold him here. And now we're going to bat around as Roy White, who led off the inning, will come up to bat again. So the Yankees are trying to make sure we go back to LA. It's now 5-0. There's Roy White. That's a 584. Finally, a low number on the blue die. But it's not going to help Rick Monday in center field. Unbelievable. 584 is going to be a double plus. Double plus. That scores the runs. 2 more runs comes in. 6 runs in the inning. And now Bert Hooton is going to be looking for some relief, I do believe. All right, so how many outs do we have? We got 2 outs. So they're going to try to – they got Lance Ronson loosening in the bullpen. If he doesn't get Munson, Ronson will come in and face Jackson. But let's see if Hooton can at least get out of the inning. That's a 217, and he does on a 4-3 ground out to end the inning mercifully. But I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-run inning for the Yankees. But of course, two errors on Bill Russell in the same inning, both off the redirect with a high blue, with an 8 or 9 blue die, cost him 2 errors. So that's it for Happy Hooton. He's not very happy. And he will, for lack of a better term, go away. And so now it's the top of the 5th. That's a 386. Monday, 386 is a strikeout. Second strikeout for Beatty. That brings up Lee Lacy. 488, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field, 2 down. So Beatty, who pitched a complete game in real world, he's on a fatigue check, but he hasn't given up anything yet. Yeager, 157, and now that's a walk. So now, if we roll a 600, we'll add 10 to the Dodgers because he's now technically tired because he's stamina of 4, and we're in the 5th inning and he gave up a walk. So here's Lopes. And what do we just hit? 699. It's going to be 709. It'll now be a deep drive to center field for Davey Lopes. Again, -1 because of the cold weather. So Lopes is a 6 power. We take 1 away, make him a 5. 5. I'm going to roll the 2 D10s and add 5 to it. That's a 5, total of 10. And we get a single. Batter could challenge. Yeager will go to third. Batter could challenge and go to try to go to second, but down 7-0. I don't think challenging is in the, even though he might very well make it, I just don't think it's worth the gamble, especially when you're down by that much. Here's Russell, 178. That's a wild pitch, and that will score Yeager. And the Dodgers are finally on the board, making it 7-1. Bill Russell again, 405, 1-3 ground out ends the inning. So the Dodgers, move this down a bit. The Dodgers get a run, cut the lead to 7-1. And now the new pitcher for the Dodgers will be Lance Routzen, however you want to pronounce it. Left-hander. He'll be in to face Reggie Jackson, Luke Piniella, and Greg Nettles. 2 out of 3 being left-handed. If I want to try to do the numbers, the numbers on Hooton are so bad, I don't think I want to go through that again. So we'll just keep rolling on. He got shelled. That's about all you need to know about that. Here's Reggie Jackson, 466 against a lefty. Is going to, doesn't matter. 466 is going to be a base hit for Reggie. He's 2 for 3. Here's Lou Piniella, 392, and that's going to be a single plus. That's going to put runners at first and second. And this is a reversal of Game 4 where the Dodgers did all the hitting. Now the Yankees have turned the tables. 440, and that's going to be against a left-hander, though, for Greg Nettles. That'll be a strikeout. Would have been a single against a righty. That's a strikeout for Ronson. 2 down for Jim Spencer. I'm sorry, 1 away for Jim Spencer. 636, home team batting, 646. 646 is a 4-6 fielder's choice. So they get the runner Piniella out at second. Spencer will reach, and Hot Dog Jackson will take third. So runners at the corners, 2 down for Brian Doyle. That's a 661. Home team batting, 671. That's a 1-3 ground out. Just missed a wild pitch. That would have scored a run. But a 1-3 is going to get him out of the inning. So Lance Ronson pitches a scoreless 5th. He is now susceptible to fatigue starting next inning. See how long they want to go with him, or whether they want to go to a fresh arm. Beatty back out. He has one, what they call one level of pitcher fatigue. So we're going to add 10 anytime a 600 result comes up. That's a 421. And against a right-hander, that's a base on balls regardless of who it is, a 421. So Reggie Smith walks for the second time. Third walk issued by Beatty. And now that's 2 marks against his fatigue. So we're going to add 20. Here's Garvey, 592, though. We're going to Lou Piniella's ratings-based defense because he is in right field for this game, but he's rated on the card. His primary position is left field. But in the World Series, the Yankees are putting Reggie as the DH and moving Piniella to right. So we're going to his secondary fielding. He's got an arm of 5. The blue die is a 2. So the 2 is less than his range, which is a 5, which means it's just going to be a fly out to right field. And that's going to take care of that. Nobody's on third. The runner on third would have had a challenge, but there was nobody on third. So that takes care of that. And move on to the Penguin, Ron Cey. 343 for Cey. Non-split is a 6-4 fielder's choice. That's the second time Ron Cey has hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice to force Reggie Smith. Here's Dusty Baker. That's a 141, and that's going to be a fly to left to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 7-1. It'll be Dent, Rivers, and White due up for the Yankees. And I believe the Dodgers, since there is going to be an off day for travel between Game 5 and Game 6, the Dodgers will go to their bullpen, and they will bring out Bob Welch, try to eat some innings. Ronson went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits and no runs. No walks and a strikeout. Well, I do kind of need to know what Hooten did so I can get the totals for the game. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5 hits is all he gave up in his 4 innings. But he walked 1, 2, just 2 walks, but the 2 errors were really critical. I don't think he struck out. He didn't strike out anybody. If I look at the runs, this one's unearned. This one's unearned. But with the double back here, that's going to make this one earned. So just 2 earned runs. So it's going to be 7 runs, 5 earned. As I look at this just off the fly, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because it's not that important. So Bob Welch, your new pitcher, and he will be facing Dent, Rivers, and White. Bucky Dent against Bob Welch. 186, and that is going to be a wild pitch, which is ball 1. 235, and Dent's a righty. 235, that's a 6-3 ground out. 1 away for Mickey Rivers. That is going to be a 104. That's a redirect to a 304, which is a strikeout. Welch with the K. Here's Roy White. 661 becomes 671. And again, he just missed at least keeping his bat going, but it's a 1-3 ground up in the inning. And Bob Welch, a 1-2-3, 6th inning for Welch. So he most likely will be able to finish out the game if they so choose to have him do that. Beatty, do they stick with Beatty or do they go to the bullpen? They're going to stick with Beatty a little bit longer. See what happens. Again, he's given up 2. Actually, more than that. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. It looks like 3. It's a plus 30 because he's given up the walk, the single. And now does the run? I'm trying to remember. Does the run count as well, or just the hits and the walks? Because he's given up 2 walks, a single, and a run. So is that plus 40 or plus 30? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's plus 30, but just base runners, not runs. Okay, so it's plus 30 if we get a ballpark result. That's a 138, and that's going to be a fly to left. This is going to be Beatty's last inning. I'm not going to sit there and try to get somebody to go when they have a plus 50 or something like that. So here's Lacey, 351, and that's going to be a 6-3 ground out, 2 down. If they can get 7 innings out of Beatty, they'll be ecstatic. So here's Yeager. 145, and that's a fly to left. So they do get 7 innings out of Jim Beatty, giving up just the 1 run, which was earned. He walked 3 total, or did he walk 2? He only walked 2. Where did I have 3 here for? 1, oh, there it is right there. So 3 walks. Didn't strike out many, though. Struck out just 2. But only gave up 1, 2, 3, just 3 hits. So Jim Beatty gave them more than they could hope for, I suppose. We go to the top of the 7th. I'm sorry, the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time. Welch will be back out with another confrontation coming against Reggie Jackson. First, though, will be Thurman Munson. 553. That's Ron Say. He shouldn't have any problem with that, you would think. 553. Nope, just a 5-3 ground out. 1 away. And that will take us to Reggie. He's 2 for 3. Hey, Ernest. Good to see you. Joel, good to see you. If I missed you earlier. 460. Against a righty, 460 is going to be a single. Reggie would have struck out against a lefty, but not against the righty. Reggie Jackson, 3 hits in this game. Here's Lou Piniella. 447 against the right-hander Welch. That will be a strikeout. That's exactly the reverse of what Reggie had. Would have been a single against the lefty, but that's the second strikeout for Welch. 2 down for Nettles. 392, and that's going to be a single plus. So Jackson only gets second base. First and second, 2 down for Jim Spencer. That's a 477 for Spencer against a right-hander, and that's a 4-3 ground out to end the inning. So we go to the 8th. Yankees comfortably in front 7-1, and the Yankees will need a new pitcher, as they have gotten 7 innings out of Beatty and figure that's enough. So they will turn to, let's see who's coming up for the Dodgers. They have they use Dick Tidrow come in. So Tidrow will be facing Lopes, Russell, and Smith for the Dodgers. Here in the top of the 8th, Yankees comfortably in front 7-1. That is a 577, so we're looking at the left fielder, Roy White. And that blue 7 is going to probably be issues. Roy White, a 577, is going to be a double. And the batter's a chance to challenge to go to third, but again, down 7-1, and there's nobody out. Would you dare make an out at the first out at third base? I don't think you want to do that, so there's no challenge there. Here's Bill Russell. It's a 415, and that's a 6-3 ground out, so the runner's going to have to hold. One away. And as we look ahead to a very probable Game 6, I mean, it would take something monumental to happen for the series to end tonight. If we look ahead to game number 6, we will check out and see who the starters are going to be in that game. Game number 6, back in LA. It will be Don Sutton and Catfish Hunter, a rematch of Game 2. They will go at it at Dodger Stadium. Now, if there is a Game 7, there was no Game 7 in real life, so I'll just have to make up a lineup, and I'm going to most likely just use everything that happened in Game 3, use those pitchers and those lineups most likely, because that's what I'm thinking they would have done in real world. Here's Tidrow, 352 to Smith, and that is a strikeout. So Tidrow with the strikeout, 2 away for Steve Garvey. 551, that'll be an easy play for Greg Nettles with the blue 1 there. 551 would be a double play, but there's no force, and there's already 2 outs. So it's just a 5-3 ground out. Leadoff double off of Tidrow by Lopes amounts to nothing. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Bob Welch out. He has 3 innings of fatigue, so that's not a problem. And Brian Doyle is your batter. That's a 686, but the home team's batting make it 696. That'll be a leadoff walk for Brian Doyle. Leadoff walk by Doyle brings up Bucky Dent. 279, and Dent will pop it up to second base. 1 away for Mickey Rivers. Make the quick. That's 304, and that's going to be a strikeout for Mickey. Rivers with the K. 3rd strikeout for Welch. White, 539. Boy, that's not going to be good for Steve Garvey. That blue 9 is not going to work. That'll be an error on Garvey. 539 is going to be an error. 3rd error by the Dodgers. Bill Russell with 2 of them, and now 1 by Garvey. Total of 3 errors in the game. And that'll bring up Thurman Munson. 469. And that's a line out to short. And they would have doubled off Doyle, but there was already 2 outs in the inning, so it won't be a double play. It'll just be a line out, and the inning is over. So Bob Welch is going to go 3 innings in his relief role, and let's see how many hits he gave up. 1, 2. Where did he go? He didn't. No, I'm sorry, that was over here. Welch, 1, 2, just 2 hits. Oh, would help if I wrote his name in there, wouldn't it? I never wrote his name in. Sorry about that, Bob. Fix my tape here. That's getting screwed up again. It's going to be a mess, I'm sure. All right. So Welch is the pitcher. He went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs. Let's see, he walked 1 and struck out 3. So the Yankees end up 7 runs on 9 hits is what they have, and the Dodgers made 3 errors. Unbelievable. All right, so we are going to the top of the 9th. Last hurrah for the Dodgers against Dick Tidrow. It'll be Say, Baker, and Monday due up. 5:06, we get a rare play. Nobody on base. Second rare play. Clay, if you weren't here earlier, the first rare play we had was the first one I've ever seen in any game, I think. I rolled the interference roll where the weak grounder went to the pitcher and the throw hits the batter running up the baseline. That's the first time I ever had that happen on a rare play in any game. So I was quite happy to see that. All right, so this one's a 443. And 443 is right here, E6 ++. Batter is safe at first on thrown error by shortstop, so Bucky Dent's going to make an error. Batter may try to advance the set. Well, down 7-1, we're not going to challenge any arms or anything like that. It's just going to be an E6 on Bucky Dent. So another error. Dodgers with 3, Yankees now with 1 as far as errors go. That'll bring up Dusty Baker. 375, and that's going to be a non-split. And look at, I'm sorry, it's down here. 375 is an F foul out to first or pop out to first. Thought at first it was the double play. I was going to say, oh, look at that. All right, here's Rick Monday, 1 for 3. That's a 165, and that's going to be a walk. Yankees really don't want to have to go to a third pitcher if they can avoid it, but they might have to. Lacy, your designated hitter, still in the game. He's 0 for 3. Do the Dodgers try to go to maybe somebody off the bench and see if they can get a spark from a pinch hitter? Possibly. Got a Manny Mota out there just waiting to hit. So we're going to pinch hit for Lee Lacy with Manny Mota. I know it's righty on righty, but he's got a good average, and he's like the prototypical pinch hitter. So Manny Mota, pinch hitting here in the 9th. Manny Mota. 514. That's right to Tidrow. That's a 1-3 ground out. For out number 2, both runners advance to second and third. But now there are 2 away for Steve Yeager, but he won't hit. He'll get called back. And the Dodgers will go to a pinch hitter for Yeager. And we'll see who they want to go to for that. Let's see, Bill North not very good. Davalillo's 312, so it looks like we're going to Davalillo. He's the best they've got. So Vic Davalillo will hit for Yeager. And if it miraculously goes to the bottom of the 9th, they can always use Johnny Oates to catch or Jerry Grody, either one. They're carrying 3 catchers. So Davalillo, last chance. All right, here's 169. And that's going to be a pop-up to third, and that's your ball game. Yankees win, the Yankees win. 7-1, all runs coming in 1 inning for each team. 7 runs for the Yankees all came in the 1 inning. We'll do the final totals on Tidrow. He went 2 well, the winner is Beatty, the loser is Hooten, obviously. 7 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for the Yankees. And for the Dodgers, let's see. Tidrow pitched up here, pitched 2 innings, gave a double here and a walk here. So just the 4 hits for the Dodgers. No runs. Walked 1, struck out 1. So there you go. Game 5 is in the books. Yankees win it 7-1. 7 runs, 9 hits, and an error for the Yankees. 1 run, 4 hits, and 3 errors for the Dodgers. Dodgers still lead the series 3-2, but now it goes back to Dodger Stadium for Game 6. That'll be on Tuesday night around 9 o'clock because tomorrow is a travel day from the East Coast to the West Coast. So Tuesday night around 9 o'clock Eastern, it'll be Don Sutton against Catfish Hunter. That will be your pitching matchup. Don Sutton against Catfish Hunter. And that will be from L.A. So thank you all for spending part of your Sunday evening with me. I was hoping for a closer game, but you don't always get close games. It all depends on how the dice roll, and they were all in the Yankees' favor tonight. But they were all in the Dodgers' favor last night. So, or yesterday afternoon. I guess it was last night. It was last night, actually. So, you never know how they're going to roll. But Tuesday night, we'll find out and see if the series can go a seventh game. But again, thank you all for spending part of your Sunday evening with me. Monday morning, we're right back to the 1987 American League replay in Stratomatic, where it'll be the Seattle Mariners against the New York Yankees. Not these New York Yankees, but the 1987 New York Yankees, managed ironically by Lou Piniella. But nobody on this roster, of course, is on the 87 Yankees, as it's a 9-year down the road, and none of these guys are around anymore for the Yankees. So it'll be the Yankees against Seattle. Scott Bankhead against Charles Hudson is your pitching matchup tomorrow morning around 9 o'clock Eastern. And then nothing Monday night because of the off day. But Tuesday night, we'll be back here for season ticket baseball game number 6 of the 1978 World Series. And of course, if you came in late and missed it, I have created the History Maker cards for all 4 of the teams remaining in this year's playoffs. So whoever comes out in the World Series, I will do a World Series play along in History Maker baseball with that. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't played History Maker in a while. It'd be a good time to get that out and get that going with the cards that I created using their card creation formula. And I'm not going to do a pre-play because I want to play it after the game is played, like the next day or next morning or whatever, because I want to use the exact lineups, and I have no idea what their exact lineups are going to be. But it should be fun, hopefully, just to be something different. Kind of mix it up a little bit, not play the same games over and over and over. It's nice to get some variety out there. All right, so that's going to do it from here. Thank you, Robert Ratliff. Thank you very much. And, of course, RJL, thank you as well. Dr. D, I'll get you your photo of your card. Actually, I'm going to do it as soon as we finish here. I'm going to go downstairs and pull that card out and send you an email with that picture of that card, so that you will have that. Thank you, Clay, for being here as well to clarify rules for us. Thank you, Ernest, Chuck, and Ben, as well as Brian B., who came in real early. Phoenix Knight, thank you all for being here. I think that pretty much, Philip Reynolds, don't want to forget Philip. How can we forget Mr. Philip? But I do thank you all for being here and spending part of your Sunday night with me. Joel Horland, don't want to miss out on Joel Horland either. All right, that's the only problem. You try to list everybody that's here, it's a good chance that I'm going to run over and just run right by somebody and skip them, and I don't want them to feel offended. But thank you to all that were here, and if we don't catch you tomorrow morning on Stratomatic, I'll catch you Tuesday night for Game 6 of the 1978 World Series, Catfish Hunter against Don Sutton from Chavez Ravine in Los Angeles, with the Dodgers now leading the series 3-2. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road. That'd be great.